recording. So yeah, we are starting recording. So good. So what we are going to be doing today, folks, it's on your screen. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna request someone to quickly come off mute and read this for us. You can start from here. Wait, I'll start my laser pointer so that you can see. Yeah. No one understand. Can anyone just read it for me? These five principles or whatever points.
Can I, Bhaiya?
Go ahead, rather.
Know and understand. First is
Yeah.
uniform or non-uniform speed. Second, uniform non-uniform velocity. Third is uniform or non-uniform acceleration. Fourth is circular motion, and fifth is kinematic equations.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, folks, these are the five things we're going to be looking up today, looking to today. First is uniform and non-uniform speed, then velocity acceleration, then it is circular motion, and last is kinematic. Just a minute. Yeah, kinematic equations. Okay. So I'm going to switch off my video because the problem is that if I start my video now, it shows in the screen and in the recording it looks very bad. So yeah. Okay. So kinematic equations, folks. Okay. So these are the five things we're going to be doing. All are very interesting. And the reason we're going to be doing this is basically these are nothing but the basic definition. And the last thing over here, kinematic equations, they are used to denote or understand how the body is moving. So body means anything, any object. If an object is moving in space, that means if an object is covering distance, how is it covering distance, where is it reaching, how is it going? So to answer all of these questions, we use kinematic equations. They were formed by Isaac Newton. You must have heard of him. Very smart guy. Discovered gravity, not invented, discovered. And yeah, so why are we using this? So we can use this knowledge to understand how a body is moving, how, where is it going, how much distance it has covered, how long it will take to reach a place. So where is this used? Okay, so where are these equations used? They are used everywhere. So you're driving a car, you're using Google Maps, GPS. So it's used everywhere in this world, and they're very important, and they are very easy as also. Okay. So basically, they are nothing but parameters of moving or motion. So this is what we're going to be doing today. Pretty interesting stuff, and we'll start. So I'm going to request someone to just quickly, come off mute. Off mute, please go. Sorry, on mute, please go off mute. Thank you. Yeah, good. So uniform versus non-uniform motion. So I will request one of you just to quickly read this, so that we can go ahead.
May I?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Quantity remains the same with respect to time versus quality. Quantity doesn't remain the same with respect to time.
Exactly. So, folks, what this means is nothing but uniform and non-uniform. So, what does uniform mean in terms of physics? Okay, we are thinking in terms of physics. What does uniform mean? It means that the quantity remains the same with respect to time. And when I say quantity, right now I am meaning the speed or the velocity or the acceleration. So, whatever I am talking about. So, for example, if I say uniform velocity, then I say that velocity will remain constant with respect to time. Okay. And when I say non-uniform, it is exactly opposite of uniform, as it's given in the name. It means that the quantity, it changes. It doesn't change equally with time. It does change with time, but it is not equal. Okay, it doesn't change. It doesn't remain the same with respect to time. And I'm going to elaborate more on this point. So this is just the basic definition about non-uniform and uniform, so that you have an idea. Acha, by what is Bhaiya talking about? Okay, so it goes over here. Cool. So yes. So we go to the next part, which is our car, which is at Pune, and our city, which is Mumbai, and it is 200-kilometer distance. So this is nothing but the analogy I'm going to be using if I require. Okay. And first part is uniform speed and non-uniform speed. So I'm going to request, now I'm going to request someone else who has not spoken in the class. So let's say Kiran T. Can you come off mute and read these 2 points for us? Shubham, you can read afterwards. Okay, next slide you can read. Great. Kiran T, are you there with us? If yes, then please come off mute and read these 2 points. Okay, someone who has not spoken, so okay.
Bhaiya,
Who's that?
Pranav,
Yeah, go ahead, Pranav.
uniform speed. Speed remains consistent for the entire duration of time.
And this
आगे
also, the
का
second
नॉन
answer. Yeah.
नॉन यूनि हाँ बोल रहा हूँ नॉन यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड speed keeps on changing in the given duration of time.
Folks. So see, it's pretty straightforward right now. What is uniform speed is nothing but speed remains constant for entire duration of time. Okay. And non-uniform speed is same. Speed keeps on changing in the given duration. So you may be asking, Bhaiya, what does it mean? So kuch nahi. Let's say I'm in Pune, I'm going to Mumbai. Okay. So when I leave from Pune and I'm going to Mumbai, the entire duration of time, let's say I take 5 hours. Okay. 5 hours to reach Mumbai. I will say that my speed is 40 kilometers per hour continuously for the 5 hours. Okay. It has not changed at all. Like this is not possible in real life, but just for in physics, just to solve example, just think about it. Okay. So for 40 kilometers for 5 hours, I go at the same speed. I don't change it at all. Kuch bhi nahi, like, even by 0.1, I don't change it. So I would say that my speed remained constant. It remained the same. Okay, for the entire duration of time. So same. For the entire duration of time. And exactly opposite of uniform speed is non-uniform speed, which happens in real life. Speed keeps on changing in the given duration of time. So if I'm going to Mumbai, it is not possible for me to have the same speed, right? 40 kilometers. In some places I would be at 0 kilometers per hour when I'm starting. Then I would be at 100 kilometers when I'm on the expressway. Then when I reach Mumbai city, it would be somewhere around, let's say, 50 kilometers. When I am in the interior of the city, it could be somewhere around 10 kilometers. So it is like this. So it is non-uniform speed. So the speed kept on changing. Rahul, please don't annotate, man. So the speed kept on changing on in the given duration. So it is uniform speed and non-uniform speed. If you have understood this, type yes in the chat box. If not, then ask me a question as usual.
Bhaiya, please elaborate more.
On what? You tell me what to elaborate on so that I can elaborate on that.
This diagram.
Yeah. So see, it's basic. You are in Pune. You have to go to Mumbai. I showed you uniform and non-uniform speed. Okay. So uniform speed means for the entire trip from Pune to Mumbai, your car speed was only 40 kilometers for 5 hours. Okay. Continuously. Non-uniform speed means in your trip from Pune to Mumbai, you kept on changing the speed. Your car kept on changing speed. So sometimes it was 100,
Oh,
sometimes it was 10. So it is non-uniform speed. Okay. Cool. The rest of you, I can see put yes in the chat box. I'm gonna go ahead. Great. So forget that for now. Oh God. Okay. So we have uniform speed versus non-uniform speed, folks. So this is actually like this is what we just did. But before we go, I'm now going to show it to you mathematically. Okay. So as we're doing physics and learning science, we have to prove everything mathematically. Now you may be asking, Bhaiya, Q. So why do we have to do it? Is because once you express it in terms of numbers, then anybody in this world can solve it. For example, let's say I have speed is equal to distance upon time. Okay, speed, our formula which we learned last time, speed is equal to distance upon time. Now this is a formula. Okay, these are not values. This is a formula. So anywhere, anytime in your life, if you want to calculate speed, you will just put the distance over here, the time over here, and you will get your answer. Okay. So an equation is nothing but representing that information in a form that we can use anytime, anywhere. So Kiran, you raised your hand, I saw. Or you have any question or anything to say? Okay, I guess not. Cool. So folks, wait a minute. Yes, Kiran. In reality, what she's saying is in reality we can't have the same time for the same duration. Uh, I think you might be saying same speed for the same duration. And it is true. In reality, uniform speed is not possible that much. It is mostly non-uniform speed. Cool. So, folks, if you look over here, I have a graph. Okay. So this graph is now going to be of time on the x-axis and speed on the y-axis. So we are going to see our car is going to Mumbai, okay, at different intervals of time. Okay, so time is over here. We are going to see the speed, and then we are going to get a line on the graph. And by looking at the line, you are going to tell me if it's uniform or non-uniform. Okay, so let's say we have a trip of 5 hours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is hours. Okay, R. I want to write the value over here. R. Rutu, I think the problem is with your internet, because my internet right now is a perfect. It's awesome right now. So speed. So let's say our top speed was 100 kilometers per hour over here, and then it was let's say 75, not 75. Folks, tell me the speed. Let's say right 70 over here. Right 70, and then this must be then 40, then this must be 10. It's not happening because it's not linear, so I'm going to do it again. Okay. So let's take 20 denomination. So this is 20 kilometers per hour. This is 40. This is 60. This is 80. This is 100. And the last one is 120 kilometers per hour. Okay. So folks, this is speed. Kilometers per hour. kmph. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, I have some data over here. I have speed. I have a table. Okay. Speed, and I have time. So I'm going to say that for 1 hour, my speed was 60 kilometers per hour. For the second hour also, my speed was 60. For the third, fourth, fifth hour also, my speed was 60 kilometers per hour. Okay. For everything. So how will my graph be now? So my graph is going to be something like this. So this is 60 over here. This is 1 over here. So the point will be somewhere over here. Then for 2 also, this is like this. 3 also something like this. 4 also the same point. And 5th also the same point. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all of these points like this. Okay. So folks, what are you seeing? Is this a straight line now? Is this?
Yes. Yes, Bhaiya.
It is, right?
Yes.
Cool. So Suraj is telling me Bhaiya taught this. So I'm assuming it is Prince Bhaiya. So yeah, it is.
Yes,
Yeah. So folks, why do we need to draw a graph? It is one way of creating a formula. So in this lecture right now, after 3-4 slides, we are going to be creating a formula. Okay. So it's always easier to look at the data graphically. It is known as looking to it graphically or visually, so that you can understand what is exactly happening. Cool. So over here now, so this is a straight line. So what does it mean? It means that with respect to time, my speed is constant. Okay. It is not changing. So I am going to say that my car is going by uniform speed. Understand? So now let's do one more thing now. I'm going to rub this, erase this, sorry. So yeah, over here like this. We are going to be taking now different values. So, okay. So let's say speed is now 40 for R number 2. Then speed is, let's say, 20 for R number 3. Then it is 120 for R number 4. And it is 0 for R number 5. Okay. So I'm going to plot these on the graph now again. So 60, for 60 it is 1. So it is somewhere over here. Then for second it is 40. So it is somewhere over here. Then 20. So it's somewhere over here. Then 120. So it is somewhere over here. And 50, it is somewhere over here because it is 0. So I will plot this graph. Oh, so it is something like this. And then it goes like, oh. So it's very difficult by drawing with a mouse. So let's say, okay, starts like this, it goes like this, comes back up over here, and then it goes like this. So now folks, tell me, is this uniform? Is this a straight line now?
No, Bhaiya.
no, it's non-uniform.
No.
Exactly. So now you're seeing what non-uniform means. Like, can you imagine now? So this is non-uniform. Okay. So now our car is actually going non-uniform speed, which actually happens in the real life. In real life, it is mostly non-uniform. Okay. So this is what uniform, non-uniform speed means. Now, folks, the next two slides are about non-uniform velocity and acceleration. You have to think about the same concept. Okay. So you just have to change speed to velocity. So now you understand what I'm talking about. Just a minute. So we go to the next slide. Okay. Uniform velocity versus non-uniform velocity. So I'm going to request someone who has not spoken right now. Cool. Just a minute. Bhagyashri, are you there with us? If you are, just quickly read these 2 points for us so that we can move ahead. People. When I call your name, I just quickly come off mute because then the lecture gets over quickly. And I know like it's hard sitting in front of a screen. So please help me over here. Help me out. If you want this lecture to end quickly, now just
Can I?
speak. Go ahead. Who is that? Sujal, yeah, go ahead.
No.
I can see. Okay, whoever it is, just who said can I? Just whoever said can I, you can.
Velocity remain constant for the entire duration of time,
Yeah.
direction or magnitude. Non-velocity. Velocity keeps on changing in the given duration of time, direction or magnitude.
Yes. Thank you so much. So, people, now uniform velocity. Okay. Last time we had a speed. Okay. So you just change speed to velocity. And one more thing you have to change is now you have to focus on direction. Okay. Direction. Speed is a scalar quantity. It only has magnitude. Speed only has magnitude. Okay. But velocity has direction also. So if my car is going with constant speed, okay, it is going with uniform speed, it doesn't mean that my car is going in uniform velocity. It has uniform velocity. Now, why would I say this is I'll show it to you now. Okay. Let's say we have a racetrack like this. Assume this is a straight racetrack. Okay. So no. I will give you an example of a circle that is pretty. So I have a racetrack something like this. Okay. My car is over here. My car goes at a constant speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, it's constant everywhere, 60 kmph. But sometimes my car is going in a straight line like this. Sometimes it is going like this. Sometimes it is, the direction is north. Then the direction is like this. Then the direction changes like this. Then again it's like this. So folks, what happens is if my car is going in a track like this, the speed is constant, but the direction is changing. So I would say that the velocity is not uniform. The velocity is continuously changing with respect to time. So in velocity, you have to think about both things, the speed or the magnitude and also the direction. In speed, we only think about the magnitude, which is 60 kilometers per hour. We don't care about the direction. But in velocity, you have to care about both these things, okay, direction and magnitude. So by saying that, what uniform velocity, and this should be non-uniform, okay, uniform. So what non-uniform and uniform velocities are, their velocity remains constant for entire duration of time. And when I say this, I mean the direction and magnitude both are constant for the entire duration of time. And non-uniform velocity keeps on changing in given duration. So when I say that, I mean either direction is changing, magnitude is changing, or both are changing. Okay. And wait a minute, in chat, Suraj is, can you explain velocity? Suraj, were you there for the last class? If not, then you had to be in the last class because I'm not going to explain that again now. So cool. So folks, we have this now, uniform velocity, non-uniform. Either uniform or uniform. So I'm going to show it to you on the graph. The graph is pretty similar to what it is for speed, okay? So the graph is mostly for uniform speed. Let's say if speed is over here, time is over here. Not speed, sorry, velocity is over here. I'm gonna write V. Velocity. Velocity is equal to displacement upon time. People, displacement upon time. So we have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, 5, things like this. Same way we have 20 kilometers per hour, 40, 60, 80, okay, like this. So now I can plot the graph in the same way. I can either plot it in a straight way if the velocity has been constant for entire duration of time, or I can plot it in the non-uniform way, which we did in the last thing like 2 minutes ago, like this, something like this. Okay. But in velocity, there is one more point which you have to think about, which is the direction. So let's say our graph is something like this. I'm going to draw a new graph now, and people, please pay attention. This is not in your syllabus right now, but it's very important as a concept for you to know. So let's say I have a graph like this, and time is always positive. So I have a graph like this. Okay. Now, wait a minute. I'm going to revise this. Just a minute. Just a minute. I'm going to draw. Okay. Now we are in business. So time like this. Okay. And speed like this. Okay. So now basically what I'm doing is I'm drawing a graph for us. Nothing but a graph. So it is a little crooked, but samajh lo abhi. It is a straight line. Okay. So let's say this is time t and this is velocity v. This is plus velocity and this is minus velocity. Now why have I done this? Now you may ask, bhaiya ye minus plus velocity kyun hai? Last time what I told you, don't forget it. Plus means in the straight forward direction. Okay. So if my car is going from Pune to Mumbai right now, like this, I would say that is the positive direction or the forward direction. So I would say plus. And if my car is going from Mumbai to Pune like this, I would say it is in the negative direction. Negative doesn't mean that it has negative speed or velocity. It just is showing the direction. Negative is like in the opposite direction. सिर्फ direction दिखाने के लिए sign लेते हैं हम लोग. Okay. So in a similar way, we have positive velocity and negative velocity. Now, let's say we have the same timestamps for our car. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 5 like this. And our velocity is same, like let's say 20 over here, 40 over here, and 60 over here. And folks, also minus 20 over here if I'm returning back. Okay, if my motion is in backward direction, so it is minus 60. Suraj, you are raised a hand. Any question?
Yes, yes. What does velocity mean? उसमें confuse हूँ मैं.
Were you there for the last lecture, Suraj? You were there. You didn't study, didn't you? Wonderful. Velocity is displacement upon time, and if you have any questions, just ask your friends, because seriously, I'm just not gonna, tell you that entirely again, because day before yesterday, I took like half an hour for this. Ask your friends, please. Thank you. So this is positive velocity and negative velocity. Minus 20 if we go in the opposite direction, plus 20 if we go in the forward direction. So let's say my car is now going to Pune, to Mumbai. So I'm going from Pune to Mumbai like this. And I have my velocity, I have my time. So I'm going like this, okay. So let's say for the first hour, so from 0 to 1 hour, I was going for 40 kilometers per hour from Pune to Mumbai. Then again from 1 to 2 hours for the next 1 hour again. So let's say 1 hour, 1 to 2. My speed was again 40. But now what I did was, like, somebody called me from home and they told me that no, you have to return back home. So I told them, okay, fine, no problem. So now I'm going from Mumbai to Pune. Okay, I'm going back home now because I have some work. So yeah. So from hour number 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, I went home with the speed of, let's say, 40 divided by 3. So that's 23.3 kilometers per hour. But let's say 25. Okay, just not 25, 30. Because our graph is only for 30. So 30, 30 and 30. Now if I plot this on the graph, folks, our graph is going to be a little different. Okay. So I'm going to plot it. So from 0 to 1 hours, it was 40 over here. From 1 to 2, it was 40. But then I took a U-turn and I went back home. So basically now my graph will be something like, wait a minute, yeah. Let's say 30 kilometers will be over here. So this, and this, like this. So if I join it, my graph looks something like this. So now folks, can you tell me it is uniform velocity or non-uniform velocity?
Non-uniform velocity.
Acha, and
Yes,
why?
bhaiya.
And why is it non-uniform?
Because bhaiya, the direction is changing.
Acha, good. So you got my point. So folks, basically what it means is, if you look over here, 40 is constant, right? 40 is constant. And if you look over here, 30 is constant. But if you combine them both, and if you look at the total velocity, then you say that it is non-uniform. Understand? Because the direction has changed. So for velocity, direction and magnitude both are important. Okay. So this is what non-uniform velocity and non-uniform velocity mean. Now we come to acceleration. So this is the last part. I'm gonna request one of you to quickly come off mute, read this. So again, go ahead.
Bhaiya, may I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Uniform acceleration. Velocity changes equally in equal amounts of time.
Yeah.
Time means direction or magnitude. And second one, non-uniform acceleration. That means velocity changes unequally in the equal amounts of time,
Thank you so
direction or
much.
magnitude.
Yeah, Kiran, thank you. Prathamesh, you can read the next part. Okay. So people, again, same concept. Only word has changed. So acceleration. So in the previous thing, we had speed and velocity, but right now we have acceleration. So basically, what is acceleration? Acceleration A. It doesn't look like any, does it? So wait a minute, I'm gonna erase it and write it again. So yeah, acceleration A is equal to, again, my fault. Okay. Acceleration A is nothing but final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. Small u, so if you ever write small u now, small u means initial velocity. Initial means the first velocity. The velocity you have when you start. So it is known as initial velocity. Okay. And small v means final velocity. It means the final velocity which you have calculated. So you will ask me, Bhaiya, what does this mean? I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Again, if we have a person, so this is a person, and bear my drawing because I really suck at drawing. But anyway, I am a person like this. I'm going to a place. Okay. So this is my home, and I'm going to school from here. Okay. When I start from home, okay, when I start from home, my speed is 0, obviously, right? So I will say my initial velocity is 0. And when I reach school, like, I'm not, I'm not reached school, but near to school, I was walking very fast with a speed of like 10 kilometers per hour. Okay. I was like Usain Bolt or something. So I would say my acceleration was, I went from 0 kilometers per hour and my speed increased to 10. So acceleration is nothing but that, right? Acceleration means change of speed or velocity. So I would say my acceleration is A is v minus u by t. That means 10 minus 0 by t. So let's say I took 10 minutes to reach school. So 10. So my acceleration would be 1 kilometer per minute. Oh my God. This is too much, isn't it? This is in hour. So let's say I did it in 1 hour. So my acceleration will be 10 kilometers per hour. Yeah. So folks, acceleration is nothing but initial velocity and minus final velocity. So initial, not necessarily initial means that you start from 0. I'm going to give you a case study right now so that this concept becomes clear to you. Okay, I'm just going to erase all of this so that I have space. Okay. Cool. So basically, if you are in a car, you're going from Pune to Mumbai. Okay. Again, the same example because I'm too lazy to give you a new example. That's why. Yeah. So basically, We are going from Pune to Mumbai, okay? Pune to Mumbai. And we take like, let's say we take 3 stops between Pune to Mumbai. So from Pune, we go to Lonavala, okay? From Lonavala, we go to Khopoli. And from Khopoli, we go to Mumbai. So we took 2 stops, not 3. Okay, so we go from Pune, we go to Lonavala, okay? From Lonavala, we go to Khopoli. From Khopoli, we go to Mumbai. So this is our journey. When we started from Pune, okay, my speed was 0. Then I went to Lonavala. By like till from Pune to Lonavala, my speed was 100 kilometers per hour. But what happened was like from Lonavala to Khopoli, the road is not that good, so my speed dropped to 50 kilometers. But from Khopoli to Mumbai again, my speed increased, so it was 100. And then finally, I reached Mumbai, my place, so it was 0. Okay. So now my acceleration will be, I would say that my acceleration from Pune to Lonavala will be acceleration A is equal to 100, which was the final velocity, minus 0 upon, let's say I took 1 hour. For each journey like this, I took 1 hour. So it is 1. So it is 100 kilometers per hour square. Why is it per hour square? Is because we're looking at change of time. Okay. Then let's say from Lonavala to Khopoli, my speed again will be now. Folks, tell me now what it will be. What it would be. What is my final velocity in this case over here?
50.
Yeah, exactly. 50. 50 minus 100 upon 1 hour. So it will be minus 50 kilometers per hour square. Minus 50 per hour square. So folks, when I say minus 50 over here, it means that I am decelerating. My speed is decreasing. Okay. And again, if I look from Khopoli to Mumbai, I would say my acceleration is plus 50. It will be plus 50. That means my speed is increasing. So by looking at the symbol of acceleration, you can tell that whether it is retarding or decelerating or reducing the acceleration, or the acceleration is increasing. Okay. So by thinking about the same concept now, uniform acceleration means that if your velocity changes equally in equal amounts of time. So what it means is I'm going from Pune to Lonavala to Khopoli to Mumbai like this. Each session takes me 1 hour to reach. From 0, I reach Lonavala with a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, to Khopoli with a speed of 40, and to Mumbai with a speed of 60. My acceleration is 20 kilometers per hour square. Okay, it is changing uniformly. My speed is changing uniformly, folks. Look, here it is plus 20. Here it is again plus 20. And here it is plus 20. Okay, so that's why I would say it is uniform acceleration. So now if this is uniform acceleration, now tell me what would non-uniform acceleration will be like. Okay. So non-uniform acceleration will be something like this. So the change of speed will be different. So till Lonavala, I would say I would be 50. Khopoli would be 100. No, that's actually uniform. Wait. So Khopoli will be 80. Mumbai will be 10. Something like this. So the change in speed right now will be, this is plus 50. This is plus 30. And this is minus 70. So you see, my acceleration, the change of speed is not uniform. Okay. Folks, acceleration means how the speed is changing. Okay. Velocity means how the distance is changing. So if my speed, so basically, for example, if my car, I'm driving a car, okay, now I can see in the chat that you are confused with this. If I have a car and I'm going in a car, okay, and so let's say I take 3 hours to reach a place from my home. For the first hour, I drive at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour. For the second hour, okay, I drive for a speed of 100, and the third hour I drive for a speed of 150. Okay. So that means that my speed is continuously uniformly changing 50 kilometers per hour. But if my speed is like 50, 80, 10, 20, then my speed, the way my speed is changing with respect to time, it is different. It is not the same. It is not increasing with the same amount. So that's why I say it is non-uniform. And rather you're asking me what is magnitude. Okay. So magnitude is nothing but let's take the formula of velocity. So velocity is equal to minus 120 kilometers per hour. Okay. So if I look at this is my symbol. This is my equality sign. Minus 120 kilometers. So this is my unit. Okay, now two things are left, this and this. So minus is my direction and magnitude is 120. This is magnitude. Magnitude is nothing but the quantity, the amount, quantity of speed or the amount of speed. So amount is 120 and the direction, positive, negative is minus or plus. Understand? So this
Yes,
value,
Bhaiya.
yeah, this is magnitude. Okay. So folks, this is what uniform acceleration and non-uniform was. Okay, now before I go to circular motion, give me a thumbs up if not thumbs up. Type yes in the chat box if you understood these three concepts. They can be a little heavy, I can understand, but just apply your head, okay, for this. I can only see one yes in the chat box. Other people. All right, 3 people. So now I'm gonna start cold calling. It's my favorite activity to do in lecture. First is talking, second is cold calling. So answer नहीं दिया है तो cold call करूंगा मैं. ठीक है? So here you can see a GIF or GIF, whatever you want to call it. We have a circle like this, and we have an object over here like this, and it is moving in a circular fashion. Okay, in a circular way. Why is it moving in a circular way? Is because you can assume that it is a tire or a wheel of a vehicle. Okay, this is now circular motion is nothing but if you have an object and it is spinning in a circular way. गोल गोल घूम रहा है तो उसको बोलते हैं circular motion. Okay, so this is nothing but circular motion, and this is a representation of circular motion over here. This is the radius r, and this blue thing you see, the blue arrow, that is the velocity. So folks, I'm now going to give you a thought experiment, and please be with me over here so that we can understand. Like, okay, so let's assume that you have a dish. Okay, and on that dish you keep a coin, और उस डिश को फिर जोर से घुमाओ ऐसे गोल गोल. So what is going to happen to that coin? Can anyone imagine? Like, I have a dish, I keep a coin on it, और फिर वो डिश को मैं जोर जोर से हिला दूं तो कॉइन को क्या होगा? Can anyone imagine? Like, guess. Thought experiment है.
Bhaiya, the coin will fall on the ground.
Yeah, Radha, the coin will fall on the ground. Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, the reason for that coin falling on the ground is some kind of force is acting on it, right? And the coin, abhi coin ko घुमाया तो coin will fall in a very specific direction, even if it is moving in a circular fashion. Okay, so I'm gonna add it on the screen so that I understand. This is the path. Okay, this is our dish. Let's assume it is a circle. Right, I'm gonna draw a circle. So let's assume this is our dish. Okay, and this dish is moving. This dish is moving like this in a circular fashion. Okay, and I place my coin over here. Okay, now what happens is that coin will fall. अच्छा coin में घूम रहा है और एक point के बाद coin will fall some like this. Okay, or marble, yeah, so you can place anything on. So basically, okay, what if I place my coin somewhere over here, then it is going to fall like this. Okay, it doesn't fall like this. It only falls in a straight line. It doesn't fall like this. ऐसे नहीं घूमता वो. Straight line में गिरता है. So why does this happen? Is because in uniform motion, in circular motion, if you look over here on this, the velocity is acting on a tangent. So tangent means if I have a circle और उसको अगर एक line मारा है ऐसे, okay, ऐसे line मारा, so that line touches the circle only at one point. So such a line is called a tangent. Okay, such a line is called a tangent. A tangent is a line which only touches the circle in one point. तो से tangent में आता है. So why am I telling you all of this is because in circular motion, the speed of an object, Rutu, you can join again. The speed of an object is same, but the direction keeps on changing again and again and again and again. Why? Is because, wait a minute, I'll play this GIF. Look over here, folks. The direction is changing. See, ऐसे ऊपर है, ऊपर है, ऊपर है. The direction of that object is changing continuously. All right. So in circular motion, my speed can be uniform. I can have uniform speed, but I cannot have uniform velocity. So can anyone tell me why? Like, why can't I have uniform velocity? Uniform velocity नहीं हो सकती. Uniform speed हो सकता है. Just, use your head. If the hint is that the direction changes. Okay. Circular motion when direction keeps on changing continuously. Like this. Look over here. ऐसे look at उसका arrow का head देखो. Change हो रहा है direction continuously. Okay.
Yes.
And what will be the distance covered is nothing but 2 pi r. 2 pi r is nothing but the circumference of a circle. So velocity will be nothing but 2 pi r upon t, which is nothing but the distance covered by t. R is the circumference of circle. And I'm hoping all of you know what a circumference is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the formula for velocity for an object which is in circular motion. Okay. So now this is basic circular motion. Uske baad we have three more slides, folks, and then the lecture ends. So these are very, 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 very important for you for your entire life. जो भी science लेने वाले ना इसके बाद life में, उनके लिए बहुत important है. ये 3 kinematical equations और Newton के 3 laws, which I'm going to be taking in the next lecture. These are so important, folks. You have to know this. You have to learn this by heart. Okay, ये 3 laws. There are 3 equations you have to learn, and I'm obviously going to tell you what they are. But always in your life, remember these are very important. मतलब इनको कोई तोड़ ही नहीं है. मतलब you can't do physics without them. You can't use GPS without these equations. You cannot create vehicles. You cannot become an automobile engineer without these equations. Okay. So what does it mean? So भैया इतना बता रहे, इतना बढ़ चढ़ के. What does it mean is, what are kinematics? So kinematic means, that word kinematic means motion. Okay. The study of motion means kinematics. So kinematic equation means nothing but the equations to study motion. Okay. Equations to study motion. And when I say study motion, I mean that, an object, how fast is it traveling? How much distance has it covered? How much time will it take? So this is nothing but study. So study of motion. And these equations tell us exactly how to study. Oh, stuffy. It should be D, okay, not T. Okay, order. So we have 3. Okay, we have 3 equations now. The first one is this. V is equal to U plus AT. Now this shows a relation between velocity and time. Okay. So I'm going to request someone to quickly come off me, not someone. I'll cold call karunga abhi, ruko. So Abhiraj, if you are there with us, quickly read this 1 point for us. Abhiraj, my friend, are you there? Or are you just, सब म्यूट करके Instagram देख रहे हो? I hate this about online lectures. Okay. Okay, cool. Prathamesh, go ahead. Yeah, Prathamesh, you can read you've raised your hand.
Yeah, can I read?
Yes, Prathamesh, you can read. Go ahead.
Suppose an object is in motion along a straight line with initial velocity u. It attains a final velocity v in time t due to acceleration a. Its displacement is s.
Okay, thank you so much, Prathamesh. So, people. Now, idhar dekho. Okay. So basically, I have a car. Let's say object is car. It is in motion. Okay, so मस्त straight line में घूम रही. Initially, it had a velocity u starting में. Then it attained a velocity of v. मतलब finally जाके उसको v velocity आया in time t. Acceleration was a, displacement is s. Now here we are using symbols is because we are creating a formula और formula को symbols रखते हैं. Why do we use symbols? Is in future if I want to derive anything, if I want to solve a question, तो इसमें सिर्फ values डाल के I can solve. That's how we create a equation and equations are created using derivation. So ये कुछ नहीं है derivation अभी. Okay, derivation. All right. So look at this over here. Initial velocity of object is u. So folks, this graph over here is time. This is time on the x-axis versus velocity on the y-axis. Okay. So abhi I started from point O. Point O was my starting point over here. Initial velocity of object u is equal to OD. So this velocity is the initial velocity. What does it mean is, let's say example के लिए u is equal to 20 kilometers. So मैं गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ, अब मुझे एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, तो मैं बोला कि ओके अभी स्टॉप वॉच ऑन कर लेता हूँ, अभी से एक्सपेरिमेंट शुरू करते हैं. देन आई लुक इन द स्पीडोमीटर में दिखा अच्छा 20 किलोमीटर पर आवर स्पीड है. सो आई से ओके कूल, व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माय एक्सपेरिमेंट my speed was 20 kilometers per hour, so that is my initial velocity. So this u is my initial velocity. Okay, and then I completed my experiment, matlab I increased my speed, I decreased my speed, whatever, and after that I paused my stopwatch and I said ki, okay, now experiment is over. And when that experiment was over, I looked into my speedometer and I saw one more speed reading which was different from the first and which is nothing but the final velocity v. Okay, so this is how I conducted my experiment. Abhi time tha t, so stopwatch pe jo time dikha na, that was t. Now I wanted to calculate my acceleration. I wanted to see how my speed has changed. Okay, क्योंकि एक्सपेरिमेंट शुरू करने के बाद पैर एक्सेलेरेटर पे दबाया ना मैंने, तो स्पीड इंक्रीज होता गया. तो कैसे? So कुछ नहीं, I just used my acceleration formula which I already had. Final velocity minus initial upon time, which is nothing but if you see it geometrically, it is OC. OC means this point. This is point C. This is point O. OC minus OD. Okay. So this is my acceleration. So now why is it like this is, folks, because only in this part has my speed changed. So this is how we have observed our experiment. Our experiment has only been observed in this length. ये तो 0 से d तो initial था इसलिए minus कर दिया इससे. Okay. So we go to acceleration A, you go to OC minus OD upon T. And if you see in this diagram, OC minus OD, what do you get is CD. देखो ना, CD plus OD is equal to OC. From the diagram I am talking about, see, this is CD, this is OD, you add them, you get OC like this, entire thing. Okay, so over here, I write CD is equal to AT. Why? Is because OC minus OD is equal to CD by T is equal to acceleration, equal to A. तो ये जो t है ना वो सिर्फ इधर शिफ्ट किया मैंने, तो cd is equal to 80. This is what I got. Okay, so have you understood till here? Give me a yes. If not, then ask me. I tell you again. हाँ, great. ठीक है. So now folks, what I have done is this line you see, this is how our velocity has changed with respect to time. Okay, this is how our velocity has changed with respect to time. All right, so this is how our velocity changed with respect to time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a parallel line to y-axis passing through B. And folks, yeah, I'm going to request you to do one thing. If you have a notebook with you, now, draw this diagram and then follow my instructions. So what's going to happen is when you draw this simultaneously, like with me, you're going to understand अच्छा भैया क्या कह रहे हैं, क्योंकि screen पे देख के it's very hard for you to keep a note of what is happening. So take a notebook and a pen, draw this diagram. I'm going to wait for 1 minute for you to do this. Acha Suraj, you're done drawing, wonderful. So please do this quickly and then follow my instructions. So whatever I am doing on the screen, you do in the notebook so that you will understand exactly अच्छा क्या हो रहा है, ठीक है? So I'm gonna wait 30 more seconds. Then I'm gonna continue talking. Yeah. Great. So people draw this diagram. Okay. Draw two axes. Name it time and velocity. इधर एक point ले लो, and from that point draw straight line like this till here. Okay. The point where it started, the intersected velocity का ये, you write u, and the point where it ended, you write v. Okay. So इस point से सिर्फ dotted line निकालो ऐसे, and why to do that is just create a quadrilateral like this. ऐसे मस्त line निकालो ऐसे, intercept ढूंढो इसका. Okay. So ये सब होने के बाद then we'll continue. So we are at CD is equal to 80. So next देखो, draw a line parallel to y-axis passing through B. So draw a line parallel to y-axis. तो y-axis तो ये हो गया इधर. So through B. So point B से लेके इधर नीचे. Draw a line like this. So I've already drawn it. I already have it on my screen. You folks can draw it if you want, like this. ऐसे must draw. Okay. This will cross the x-axis in E. So ये जो point E है ना, that is the intercept point. Draw a line parallel to x-axis passing through D. The same thing. इधर से ऐसे एक line create करो ऐसे ऐसे. और ये जो point है ना उसको D बोलो. और ये दोनों जो इधर मिलते हैं ना, it is point A. So this is point A over here. Okay. So we have our basic diagram. Then we'll go ahead. So from the graph, BE किधर है? BE. So yeah, this is BE is equal to AB plus AE. So that is obvious. It is equal to AB plus AE. So AB is nothing but this. This is AB plus AE. AE is nothing but this. If you add both of them, you get this BE. Okay. Therefore, look over here. Therefore, V. So this point V is equal to CD plus OD. Basically, look at V is equal to CD plus OD. Yes. Okay, I understand. So V is equal to CD plus OD. Why is it like this, folks? Is because इधर देखो इधर ऊपर. You have written this. Final velocity V is equal to OC. And OC is nothing but OD plus CD. Why is it like this? Is because diagram में दिखाई दे रहा है इधर. देखो. Okay. So this is CD and this is OD. उनका total हो गया CO. So we have this, and then therefore now folks look over here. CD को तो 80 मान लिया हमने, तो इधर लग दिया. And OD we already know from here initial velocity is U. So finally we get our equation v is equal to ut u plus at. Oh crap. Okay. So now I understand this can get a little technical, but it is not difficult. Okay, it is मतलब बहुत सारा information, but it is not difficult. It is doable. Just have to pay attention to the steps. Okay. So people, this is how we derived the first kinematical equation v is equal to ut. What it means is final velocity v is equal to initial velocity plus acceleration into time. Okay, that is v is equal to u plus at. So this is the first equation. If you have understood this, put a yes in the chat box. Or I'm going to request someone to take a screenshot of this. Wait, I'm going to clear the annotation first. Kiran, you have to learn the equation, but if you know the explanation, then it's always better. Aditya raised your hand. Aditya, question.
Sorry, it was by mistake.
Acha, no problem. So somebody take a screenshot, put it in the group.
Done, bhaiya.
Acha, thank you. Yes. So folks, I'll always tell you one thing. ये जो derivation है ना, उसको learn करने में learn मत करो. Okay. Understand करो. Just draw this diagram and step by step just go. Okay. Step by step सिर्फ जाओ और देखो diagram में क्या हो रहा है. You'll automatically understand. Right now it's through a screen, so it's difficult to understand for you. And that I get. Okay. But that's why I said pen or paper लेके बैठो, so you'll understand better. So folks, this is the first. Now we go to the second equation now. So now this equation, it is a relationship between displacement and time. तो पहले velocity and time था, ठीक है? अभी displacement. So here we have taken displacement as s. Okay, displacement as s. So what the second equation says is s, मतलब displacement is equal to initial velocity into time plus half into acceleration into time square. So displacement is equal to initial velocity into time plus half into acceleration into time square. So folks, you may be asking, "Bhaiya, ये सब क्यों चाहिए?" So people, if you don't know the final velocity पता नहीं है, पर initial पता है, तो you can understand, you can calculate the displacement of an object. Okay. Or if you look at the first equation, displacement पता नहीं है, तो तुम final velocity निकाल सकते हो. इसलिए first equation use करते हैं. Aditya raised your hand.
Yes. Bhaiya, is this square only for t?
Anyway, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead. Abhi, do this with me, okay, in your notebooks, well, it's easier for you to understand. So look over here. Suppose an object is in motion along a straight line with initial velocity u, attains final velocity v in time t, acceleration a है और displacement s है. Displacement मतलब distance cover कितना किया. So let us suppose that an object in uniform acceleration a, एक object है हमारे पास, it is moving, okay, must move कर रहा है इसे. तो वो जो moving है ना, उसका acceleration a है and has covered distance s within time t. From the graph, the distance covered by object during time t is given by the area of quadrangle DOAB. Okay. So now this may sound a little difficult. So DOEV. So basically distance, matlab nothing but friends, whenever you have a graph of velocity versus time, the area under the line is always the distance covered. So this entire thing is the distance covered. Velocity time graph के अंदर जितना area आता है ना, the area of velocity time graph is always the distance. And why is it so? It's actually a very big derivation which I'll tell you when I have time. But इतना अभी के लिए रखो याद ध्यान में कि velocity into time का जो area आता है, that is the distance. So this is the distance covered. Okay. So इधर देखो, therefore S मतलब distance covered is equal to area of quadrangle. S is equal to area of rectangle plus area of triangle. So if you look here in this figure, we have a triangle over here and we have a rectangle like this. तो इन दोनों का अगर एरिया ऐड किया तो वी गेट अ क्वाड्रेंगल, मतलब ट्रपेजियम है बेसिकली. ये देखो, वी गेट दिस. ओके, सो ओवर हियर आई हैव डन द सेम थिंग. तो एरिया ऑफ ट्रायंगल, एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल क्या होता है? लेंथ इनटू ब्रेथ, राइट? सो AE इनटू OE. AE इज द ब्रेथ, OE इज द लेंथ, प्लस हाफ. तो ट्रायंगल का क्या होता है? एरिया हाफ इनटू ब्रेथ इनटू लेंथ. So AB is the length or height, base into height actually, and DA is the, so BA is the height and DA is the breadth. So area of triangle is equal to half breadth into height. Okay. So इसको अगर add किया तो अभी I'll do nothing but I'm going to put the values you already know into this. Okay, so we know that DO, okay, इधर देखो, DO is equal to U. This we can see from the graph. We also know that DO is same as AE, right? क्योंकि rectangle ही है तो rectangle का breadth same ही होगा ना. That means AE is also equal to U. Now you look at OE. तो OE किधर दिख रहा है? So this is OE over here, which is nothing but the time. So we'll write OE is equal to T and DA. तो अभी DA किधर दिख रहा है हम लोगों को? DA is this. So again rectangle, it is the side of rectangle. So OE is equal to AD. So ये भी T हो गया. So if you look over here now, we get the values, which is nothing but I'm going to put it in the equation, which is this, this, and we get something like this. H is equal to U into T plus half into A into T square, which is nothing but the second Newton's kinematical equation. Okay, so ऐसा है ये. So I'm gonna request someone take a screenshot of this and post it on the group. Karan, you have raised a hand. Go ahead. Karan, raised a hand. Go ahead. I'm just gonna assume that it was a fluke, so I'm gonna go ahead. Oh God. Okay, folks. So we have a last.
Bhaiya, your voice
And
is breaking.
I'm gonna tell you to take a screenshot of this. My battery has 2% charge right now. Sorry, my phone has. So take a screenshot of this, post it on the group, and in the next lecture I'll tell you what this means. Okay, but before you come to the next lecture, I want you all to read the derivations which are going to be put on the screen, like put in the group, and also read up on all the concepts. You don't have any homework right now because this is very theoretical. Okay. Next lecture mein hum log will solve questions and answers. So that will be a little interesting. Okay. So folks, this is it for today. Nothing difficult. Okay. So that's it. Abhi my phone is going to be switched off. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. 4 o'clock office hours. Any questions, you can come back and ask me. Okay.